Okay, so this next one is a little bit different. It is not a complete book yet. That's why I decided to release it on the Kindle Vella series, which is a different part of Amazon, which allows you to release your stories in like an episode form so that you can release like one chapter at a time. So I am going to be reading the first chapter of The Chaos Agent. That's what it's titled, and it's called The Meeting. The episode is called The Meeting. But before I do that, I'm going to give you just a summary of what the book is about. Amy is attempting to concentrate on herself, her mental health, and working through her traumatic past. The last thing she is thinking about is starting a new relationship with anyone. Enter Cade, a handsome, charismatic man who, against Amy's better judgment, hooks her with his intense, single-minded focus on winning her affection through any means necessary. What follows is an impulsive, obsessive, and dangerous descent into the dark world of a dominant and his submissive. Okay. So, how'd the shrink thing go today? Amy shot her friend Lauren a dirty look as she raised her martini up to take a sip. Lauren didn't seem to notice as she took a long drag on her cigarette and looked past Amy to smile and wink at someone. Amy rolled her eyes, shook her head, and smiled despite herself. She could always count on Lauren to be completely uncouth, and that's what she liked about her. The shrink thing was okay, I guess. The psychiatrist seems nice, intelligent, engaged, and interested in what I have to say, which is more than I can say for you, Amy said sarcastically. Lauren wrinkled her nose. Oh, you know I love you, bitch, she said as she leaned over and gave Amy a kiss on her cheek. Amy laughed and backed away, coughing. Ugh, gross, you smell like smoke. Lauren stubbed out her cigarette and fanned the air around her. Well, that's not good. I better go brush my teeth and spray some perfume. I just saw a guy come through the door, and I think he's going home with me tonight. Oh, really? Amy asked, turning to look at the door. Is he aware of this yet? Lauren was already out of her seat. She leaned over and whispered to Amy, Nope. But it's already a done deal on my end, she giggled and started towards the bathroom. Order me a drink, she called out over her shoulder as she walked. Amy smirked and sighed in resignation. She turned towards the bar to get the attention of the bartender. Is your friend always that demanding? Amy heard an amused male voice behind her. She glanced over her shoulder and met a set of sparkling green eyes. Her heartbeat instantly increased as her gaze dropped to a mouth with full lips, stretched into a killer smile, exposing straight white teeth and a dimple in his right cheek. God damn, she thought. Trying her best to appear unfazed, she shrugged her shoulders and coolly replied, Being demanded isn't necessarily a bad thing. The impossibly attractive man confidently took Lauren's empty seat and put his forearms up on the bar. Amy couldn't help but notice how well built he was, and she caught a whiff of cologne that she decided was very pleasant. I suppose you're right, he acquiesced. He raised up his hand and caught the eye of the bartender. I need a Coors Light bottle, and whatever she wants. He put his other hand on her arm and shot another winning smile at her, causing her knees to go weak. Shit, I'm a goner. Amy swallowed hard, trying to turn her attention from this man to the bartender. She raised her martini glass, drained it in one gulp, then called out, Another one of these. Oh, and a glass of Riesling for my friend, please. The bartender nodded in response and went about filling the order. Amy glanced over at the man, smiling. See, I can be demanding too. The corner of his mouth turned up. Oh yeah? Now I'm intrigued. Amy arched an eyebrow at him, challenging him to continue. The bartender put their drinks down in front of them, and she raised the glass to her lips, taking a slow sip. Her actions had the desired effect on him. His gaze settled on her mouth, and she felt a rush of accomplishment when she saw him swallow hard. He raised his beer up and took a drink before continuing. See, the way you're acting now, I would tend to believe that you like to have control of situations. Amy smiled. You would be right. He interrupted her. But the way I saw you act with your friend tells me you could be comfortable with being submissive as well. Amy practically choked on her martini. She put the drink down and instinctively crossed her legs. As soon as she did it, she chastised herself, watching as his eyes followed her movements. Before she could even figure out a response, Lauren appeared behind the mystery man. Her eyes were wide and excited as she caught Amy's gaze. Fuck, Amy thought, knowing her friend was going to make everything extremely awkward. You're in my seat, she said, putting her hand on the man's back. He was caught off guard, his attention still focused on Amy. He turned towards Lauren, already sliding out of the chair. I was just keeping your friend company while you were otherwise engaged, he said easily, smiling at Lauren. He handed the glass of wine to her. I take it this Riesling is for you? Lauren set an approving glance at Amy, extending her hand to take the glass. Well, thank you, sir. Amy watched the man as he interacted with Lauren. She noticed his sharp intake of breath on the word sir. Interesting. Sorry, where are my manners? He said suddenly. He extended his hand to Lauren, but his eyes were on Amy. Cade. Lauren caught the spark between the two of them, her expression amused as she took Cade's hand. Well, hi there, Cade. I'm Lauren. And the woman you're staring at is Amy. Amy's cheeks turned red and she let out a nervous laugh. Cade grinned in response. Lauren moved between the two of them to get Cade's attention. So, Cade, here's the deal. You introduced me to that friend that you came in here with, and I will leave you alone with Amy to talk. What do you say? Amy rolled her eyes. Jesus, Lauren. Cade let out a laugh and raised his beer up to clink it against Lauren's wine glass. I think I can arrange that. Perfect, Lauren exclaimed. Cade started towards the entrance where his friend was standing with a group of people. Amy took that opportunity to grab Lauren's arm. Oh my God. Lauren watched him walk away, her lips pursed. Damn, he's fine, Amy. Look at that tight ass. You better get yourself some of that. Amy took another drink of her martini, her nervousness showing in her shaking hands. I don't know. This is a really bad time for me to be starting something with someone, Lauren. You know that. Lauren grabbed Amy's shoulders and locked gazes with her. Amy, I know what you're talking about, honey, but this could be exactly what you need. Don't put any pressure on yourself. This doesn't have to be a big thing. No relationship, just some no strings attached fun. And you could definitely use some fun right now.